Welcome back to our channel, World of Coins. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Jefferson Nickel coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them because it could make you a millionaire overnight. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of US coinage, where hidden treasures can sometimes be found in the most unlikely places. You might be surprised to learn that a coin that's often overlooked, the humble 5-cent piece, could be worth far more than its face value. Today, we'll explore the 1985 United States 5-cent coin, its history, design, and the incredible value it holds for collectors. Stick with us until the end, where we'll reveal just how much this small piece of history is really worth today. The 1985 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson Nickel, is part of a series of coins that have been circulating in the US since 1938. While the design of the nickel has changed several times over the years, the one from 1985 stands out in ways you might not expect. But before we get into why this coin is so valuable, let's take a look at its history and significance. In 1985, the United States was in a period of economic growth, and the country was on the heels of the Reagan administration. The minting of coins like the 5-cent piece continued as part of the regular currency circulation. But what makes the 1985 version of the Jefferson Nickel particularly interesting is its relationship to earlier minting errors. The U.S. Mint, which is responsible for producing all U.S. coins, has a long history of producing both flawless and imperfect coins. And as with many items in the numismatic world, those imperfections can sometimes make a coin even more valuable. The 1985 nickel itself features the same design as the series introduced in 1938. On the obverse, you'll see a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, facing left. Jefferson's likeness was designed by the famous artist Felix Schlag. The reverse side of the coin features an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which is a symbol of the U.S. ideals of democracy and independence. So, where does the rarity and value come into play? It all comes down to a very specific type of coin, the 1985 D mintmark nickel, particularly those that were struck with a unique error. You see, during certain years of minting, small mistakes can happen in the production process, resulting in coins that deviate from their original design. These variations are sometimes so subtle that even experienced collectors can miss them. However, the rarer the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. For the 1985 Jefferson Nickel, one of the most sought-after variants is a coin with a double die error. This means that the die used to strike the coin was misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to appear twice in a slightly offset manner. A double die error can significantly increase a coin's value because it's not something you'll find in regular circulation. These types of errors are rare, and collectors often go to great lengths to find them. As the years go by, more and more of these nickels are removed from circulation, and the surviving specimens become increasingly valuable. Coins in excellent condition, especially those that have been well preserved and kept in pristine environments, are always in demand. The better the quality of the coin, the higher the potential value, which is why some of these nickels can fetch impressive amounts at auction. Now, you might be wondering just how much one of these rare 1985 nickels can actually be worth. Well, if you happen to have one of these coins in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to a small fortune. But it's not just any 1985 nickel. If you have one with the double die error, the value skyrockets. In fact, some collectors have been willing to pay a stunning amount for this particular coin. Depending on its condition, a 1985 Jefferson Nickel with the double die error has been known to sell for as much as $54,000. Yes, you heard that right, $54,000. That's an incredible amount for a coin that started as just a simple 5-cent piece. This value is driven not only by the rarity of the coin but also by the growing interest in rare minting errors. As more collectors become aware of the potential value of these coins, the demand only increases. So, if you happen to come across a 1985 nickel, make sure to check it carefully. You could be holding on to a rare, error-struck coin that could change your financial future. Before you go rushing to check your change, it's important to note that not every 1985 nickel is worth this kind of money. Only those with the specific error and in mint condition will fetch such high prices. But even without a minting error, a well-preserved 1985 nickel is still a piece of history, and for coin collectors, that holds a value of its own. If you're new to coin collecting or just starting out, this is a perfect example of why it's important to closely examine the coins you come across. Sometimes, the smallest details can make a huge difference in a coin's value. And for those of you who are seasoned collectors, always keep an eye out for those rare variants. You never know when you might find a hidden gem like the 1985 Jefferson Nickel. Whether you're just starting to collect coins or you've been in the game for years, the 1985 5-cent piece is a perfect reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected coins can hold incredible value. Keep your eyes peeled and your magnifying glass ready because you never know what treasure might be hiding in your collection. Top 2, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1972 United States 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson Nickel. If you think this coin is just another everyday nickel, think again. There's a lot more to this little piece of currency than meets the eye, and it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The 1972 nickel may not seem like anything extraordinary at first glance, but as with many coins, there are hidden gems waiting to be discovered. To understand its value, let's first take a look at the coin's history. The Jefferson Nickel has been part of American currency since 1938, and it has seen many changes over the years. While the coin design has evolved, the basic structure has remained the same, depicting Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. In 1972, the U.S. Mint produced a series of Jefferson Nickels as part of their ongoing effort to circulate coins for daily use. However, what makes the 1972 version so interesting, particularly to collectors, is the potential for errors and unique variants that can dramatically increase the value of the coin. As we dive into the story behind this nickel, we'll explore how subtle differences and production anomalies can make a world of difference in the world of numismatics. Before we get into the rare variants, let's take a closer look at the standard design of the 1972 nickel. The obverse features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. This is a well-known and well-loved design that has been in use for decades. On the reverse side, we see Jefferson's home, Monticello, which is a symbol of the country's early days and the ideals of democracy. The coin itself has a copper-nickel composition, weighing 5 grams and measuring 21.2 millimeters in diameter. Now, here's where things get interesting. While most of the 1972 nickels were struck with the typical design, there was one particular variant that caught the eye of collectors, a variant that could make any 1972 nickel worth thousands of dollars. This rare variant is the result of a minting error known as a double die. A double die error happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design to be impressed into the coin multiple times. In the case of the 1972 nickel, this error caused the image of Jefferson to appear as if it had been doubled. This is most noticeable on the letters in the word Liberty, and in the date, 1972, where you can clearly see a shift or overlap in the design. The discovery of these double die errors instantly turned the 1972 nickel into a highly sought-after coin among collectors. These types of errors are considered rare, and coins featuring them are always in demand. But what really makes this coin valuable is not just the error itself, it's the condition of the coin. Just like with any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the value. A nickel in mint or near mint condition can command much more than one that has been heavily worn or damaged over the years. If you're lucky enough to find a 1972 nickel with the double die error in excellent condition, you could be holding on to a piece that could fetch a staggering price at auction. In fact, some of these rare error coins have been known to sell for as much as $68,000. Yes, you heard that right, $68,000 for a single nickel. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have one of these valuable coins? Great question. The double die error is relatively easy to spot once you know what to look for. First, examine the date and the word Liberty carefully. If you notice any doubling or overlapping of the letters or numbers, you may have found a coin worth checking out. But remember, the condition of the coin is also a major factor in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, with minimal scratches or wear, are the most valuable. So, where can you find these rare coins? Well, they aren't exactly lying around on every street corner. Coins with minting errors like the 1972 double die are typically found through careful searching and sometimes by simply being in the right place at the right time. Some collectors have stumbled upon these coins in their spare change, while others have discovered them in older rolls of nickels. But even if you don't find one in your pocket change, it's worth keeping an eye on coin auctions, coin shops, and online marketplaces where rare coins are often sold. In addition to the double die error, there are other variations and minor errors that can make a 1972 nickel more valuable. For example, some nickels were struck with uneven pressure, causing minor details to appear weak or faded. These variations, while not as valuable as the double die error, can still add to the uniqueness and desirability of a coin. So, if you have a 1972 nickel, it's worth taking a closer look to see if it has any of these subtle differences. But even if your 1972 nickel doesn't feature any major errors, it can still be a valuable part of a well-curated collection. Coins from the 1970s, especially those in good condition, are always sought after by collectors who specialize in U.S. currency. The 1972 nickel, in particular, is a great example of a coin that, while common at first glance, holds the potential for much more once you look a little deeper. As you can see, the 1972 Jefferson Nickel isn't just another ordinary coin, it's a fascinating piece of history, full of potential and hidden value. With its unique design, potential minting errors, and the possibility of finding one of these rare coins in your collection, the 1972 nickel is a reminder that sometimes the most unassuming coins can hold incredible worth. So, the next time you go through your change, take a closer look at that 1972 nickel. It might just be the key to unlocking a hidden treasure in the world of coin collecting. Top 3, we have a truly exciting topic for all you collectors out there, a coin that may be tucked away in your pocket change or lying forgotten in an old drawer. We're talking about the 1973 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it may seem like just another regular nickel, but this small coin holds an incredible secret, and if you're lucky enough to find one in the right condition, it could be worth far more than its face value. Stick around as we reveal just how much this seemingly ordinary coin can actually be worth today. The 1973 Jefferson Nickel is part of the ongoing series that has graced U.S. currency for decades. Since its introduction in 1938, the Jefferson Nickel has undergone minor design changes, but the basic elements have remained the same. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, while the reverse showcases Jefferson's historic home, Monticello. While this coin has been a staple in American currency, there's more to it than just its beautiful design. In 1973, the United States was in the midst of a very dynamic period. The nation was dealing with the tail end of the Vietnam War and navigating economic challenges, but the mint continued to produce coins for everyday circulation. The 1973 nickel was struck in large numbers, and like most coins from this era, they circulated widely and saw daily use. However, as with many coins in the U.S. mint's history, some special varieties and errors slipped through the cracks, creating valuable collector's items. So, what exactly makes the 1973 Jefferson Nickel stand out? It all comes down to rare minting errors, as well as the condition of the coin. One of the most valuable and sought-after varieties of the 1973 nickel is the version that features a unique minting flaw known as a double die. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned, resulting in the design appearing twice in slightly offset positions. This error creates a fascinating visual effect, making the coin look like it has double features. The doubling is most noticeable on the date, 1973, and in the word Liberty, where the text is duplicated, giving the coin its distinctive look. The double die error is highly sought after by collectors because of its rarity and uniqueness. Coins with minting errors are often more valuable than their perfectly struck counterparts, and the 1973 nickel with this error is no exception. While the majority of the 1973 Jefferson Nickels were struck normally, only a small number of these double die errors made it into circulation, making them incredibly rare and desirable. If you find a 1973 nickel with this double die error, you could be looking at a coin that's worth significantly more than the typical 5 cents. But it's not just the error itself that adds to its value, it's also the condition of the coin. The value of any coin, especially those with minting errors, is greatly influenced by its grade. Coins that are in near-perfect condition, without scratches, dents, or heavy wear, will always fetch a higher price. Now, you may be wondering just how much one of these rare error coins could sell for. In some cases, a 1973 nickel with a double die error in excellent condition can sell for a staggering amount. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins like these because they're not only rare, but they also represent a fascinating piece of history from the U.S. Mint. So, if you happen to find one of these coins in your collection or in a roll of nickels, it could be worth a substantial sum. Here's the big reveal: a 1973 Jefferson nickel with a double die error, especially if it's in mint or near mint condition, can be worth as much as $66,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $66,000 for a single nickel. That's right, a coin that once served as simple everyday currency has now transformed into a rare and valuable collector's item. It's amazing to think that something as small as a nickel could hold such immense value. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? First, examine the date, 1973, and the word "Liberty" on the obverse of the coin. If you notice any doubling or overlapping of the letters or numbers, then you may have discovered a double die error. It's important to remember that the condition of the coin is just as crucial to its value. If the coin has been well preserved and is free from significant wear or damage, it will command a much higher price in the market. If you're wondering where you might find one of these rare coins, they can sometimes pop up in unexpected places. Many collectors have found error coins in their pocket change, while others have discovered them in old rolls of nickels that have been sitting in drawers for years. Of course, the best way to find one is to regularly check your coins, especially those that are older or appear unusual in any way. While the double die error is the most well-known and valuable variety of the 1973 nickel, it's not the only one. There are other, smaller errors that can make a coin more desirable to collectors. For example, some 1973 nickels were struck with uneven pressure, causing parts of the design to appear weak or faded. These variations may not be worth as much as the double die, but they still add value and uniqueness to a coin. As a coin collector, it's always important to examine every coin closely. Sometimes, the smallest imperfections or design changes can make a huge difference in a coin's worth. The 1973 Jefferson Nickel is a prime example of this. What may seem like just another everyday coin could actually be a hidden treasure, waiting to be discovered. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1973 Jefferson Nickel is definitely one to keep an eye out for. With its potential for rare minting errors, unique variants, and high value, this coin could very well be the key to unlocking a small fortune in the world of numismatics. Top 4, we're about to uncover a hidden treasure right from your pocket change. We're going to be talking about the 1990 United States 5-cent coin, or as it's more commonly known, the Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, this might seem like just another common coin, but don't let its modest appearance fool you. This small piece of U.S. currency could hold a secret worth thousands of dollars, and you could be sitting on a rare find without even knowing it. Stick around as we explore the history, design, and most importantly, the incredible value of the 1990 nickel. The Jefferson Nickel, in circulation since 1938, is a coin that has withstood the test of time. With Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, gracing the front of the coin, it's a piece of American history that we've all seen countless times. On the reverse, we have a depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia home, which serves as a symbol of the nation's early ideals of democracy and liberty. While the design has remained largely unchanged over the decades, there are still some intriguing variations that make certain years stand out in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's talk about the 1990 Jefferson Nickel specifically. The coin itself was struck as part of the ongoing series of nickels minted for general circulation in the early 90s. During this time, the U.S. economy was navigating changes, and the minting of coins continued without much fanfare. But as is often the case in the world of numismatics, sometimes it's the small details, the quirks of production, and the subtle differences in minting that turn an ordinary coin into a sought-after collector's item. You may be wondering, what exactly makes the 1990 nickel so special? The truth is, while the design is standard and the coin's production was massive, there are a few key factors that can significantly increase its value. The most important of these factors is the presence of a rare minting error. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin production process. These errors can range from minor defects to more significant flaws, and some can make a coin incredibly valuable to collectors. In the case of the 1990 Jefferson Nickel, one of the most sought-after variations involves a rare, doubled die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin gets misaligned or doubles during the minting process. The result is a coin where the design, particularly the date and inscriptions, appear to be doubled or offset. This type of error is highly collectible because it's not something you'll find in every roll of nickels. Most coins are struck properly, so when a mistake like this occurs, it becomes a one-of-a-kind piece in the eyes of collectors. The double die error on the 1990 Jefferson Nickel is particularly noticeable on the date, 1990, and the word, Liberty. If you look closely, you'll see that the letters and numbers are slightly doubled, creating a blurred or shadowed effect. These subtle details might not be immediately obvious, but once you know what to look for, it's easy to spot. And if you do find one of these rare error coins, you could be holding on to something that could fetch a serious price. So, how much could this coin be worth if you have one with the double die error? Well, here's the exciting part. In 1990 Jefferson Nickel with this rare minting flaw, especially one in excellent condition, has been known to sell for as much as $49,000. That's right, $49,000 for a single nickel. It's hard to believe that such a small coin, which was once worth just 5 cents, could command such a hefty price. But in the world of numismatics, rarity and condition are everything. But let's be clear, not every 1990 Jefferson Nickel is worth that kind of money. The value depends on several factors, including the presence of the error, the condition of the coin, and how well it has been preserved. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition are far more valuable than those that have been worn down from years of circulation. So, if you happen to find a 1990 nickel with the double die error, make sure it's in the best condition possible. A coin with little wear, sharp details, and minimal scratches will always fetch a higher price. If you're wondering how you can find one of these rare error coins, your best bet is to start by carefully inspecting your collection or checking through rolls of nickels. Minting errors like the double die don't happen frequently, so when they do, they're often noticed by savvy collectors. Some collectors have even reported finding these valuable coins in old boxes of nickels, or even in the most unexpected places, like a change jar or a drawer full of loose coins. So, it's always worth taking the time to go through your change and look for these potentially valuable pieces, and don't forget about other factors that can affect the value of the coin. While the double die error is the most well-known and valuable flaw, there are also other subtle variations that can increase the coin's desirability. For example, some 1990 nickels might have been struck with slight misalignments or uneven pressure, causing the design to appear off-center or faint. These types of variations, while not as dramatic as the double die, can still make a coin more valuable to collectors who specialize in errors and unique minting flaws. In addition to minting errors, the rarity of the 1990 nickel plays a big role in its value. Even without the double die error, the 1990 Jefferson Nickel is still considered a valuable coin by many collectors, especially those who focus on U.S. coinage from the 1980s and 1990s. Coins from this era, particularly those in great condition, are always in demand because they represent a key time in U.S. history. So even if you don't find an error coin, the 1990 nickel can still hold some worth. As you can see, the 1990 Jefferson Nickel is far more than just a common coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner just starting to explore the world of numismatics, this little coin can be a treasure trove of possibilities. With its potential for rare minting errors and its growing popularity among collectors, the 1990 nickel is a perfect example of how the smallest details can make the biggest difference in a coin's value. So, next time you come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel, don't just let it slip through your fingers. Take a moment to inspect it carefully. You never know, you might just find yourself holding a coin worth a small fortune. Top 5, we have an exciting discovery to share with you. A coin from 1971 that could very well be hiding in your collection or even in your spare change. We're talking about the 1971 United States 5-cent coin, better known as the Jefferson Nickel. While this coin might seem like a regular piece of currency, there's more to it than meets the eye. In fact, this nickel holds a fascinating secret that could make it worth a small fortune. Stick around, and we'll reveal just how valuable this seemingly ordinary coin could be. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1938, and its design is instantly recognizable. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by artist Felix Schlag. On the reverse, there's an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, symbolizing the nation's early ideals of freedom and democracy. These iconic elements have made the Jefferson nickel a beloved part of American coinage, but today we're focusing specifically on the 1971 version. Now, the 1971 Jefferson nickel might appear to be just another standard-issue coin, but it's not the regular, everyday version that grabs the attention of collectors. The real excitement lies in the potential for rare minting errors that could make this coin much more valuable than its face value. Minting errors are a common phenomenon in the world of coin collecting, and they happen when something goes wrong during the production process. These errors can range from small imperfections to more significant mistakes, and some of these flaws can turn a typical coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. One of the most desirable variations of the 1971 Jefferson nickel involves a rare minting error known as the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or doubled during the minting process, resulting in a design that appears slightly offset or duplicated. This kind of error is particularly noticeable on the date and inscriptions of the coin, such as the year 1971 and the word Liberty. The doubling effect can make the letters and numbers appear blurry or even overlapping, giving the coin a distinctive look that stands out from the typical nickels you might come across. The double die error is a key reason why the 1971 Jefferson nickel has caught the eye of collectors. These types of errors are relatively rare, and when they do occur, they create a one-of-a-kind piece of currency that is highly desirable. The rarity of these error coins, combined with their unique appearance, makes them especially valuable to collectors who specialize in minting flaws and rare coins. And if you're lucky enough to find a 1971 nickel with the double die error, you could be holding on to something worth a considerable amount of money. But how much is this coin worth? Well, here's the exciting part. In 1971 Jefferson nickel with the double die error, particularly if it's in excellent condition, can be worth as much as $69,000. That's right, $69,000 for a single nickel. It might sound unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, rare errors like this can turn a seemingly ordinary coin into a valuable treasure. So, if you've ever wondered if there's hidden value in your change, this could be one of those coins that surprises you. Of course, not every 1971 Jefferson nickel will be worth that much money. The value of a coin depends on several factors, including the condition of the coin, the extent of the error, and the rarity of the specific minting flaw. A coin in pristine or near-perfect condition will always command a higher price than one that has been heavily worn or damaged. If you happen to find a 1971 nickel with the double die error, make sure it's in good shape. Coins with sharp details and minimal wear are far more valuable than those that have been circulated and worn down. If you're wondering how to spot one of these valuable error coins, it's actually not too difficult once you know what to look for. The most obvious sign of the double die error is the doubling of the letters and numbers, particularly the date, 1971, and the word, Liberty. The doubling effect can be subtle, but if you look closely, you'll be able to see the overlap or shadowing of the design. In addition to the double die error, some 1971 nickels might have other subtle imperfections, like off-center strikes or weak designs, that could add to their value. These minor variations, while not as dramatic as the double die, can still make a coin more desirable to collectors. Now, you might be wondering where you can find one of these rare and valuable coins. Well, they're not exactly lying around in every corner store or gas station, but with a little luck and careful searching, it's possible to find them. Many collectors have discovered these valuable error coins while going through rolls of nickels or inspecting old collections they inherited or stumbled upon. Sometimes, it's as simple as checking your pocket change. But even if you don't find one in your daily transactions, it's worth keeping an eye on coin auctions, online marketplaces, and coin shops, where rare coins like the 1971 Jefferson nickel might appear for sale. Even if you don't find a 1971 nickel with the double die error, don't forget that coins from this era, especially those in good condition, are still highly collectible. The 1970s were a unique time in U.S. history, and coins from this period are often sought after by collectors who specialize in modern U.S. currency. So, even without a minting error, a 1971 Jefferson nickel could still be a valuable addition to your collection, especially if it's well preserved. It's truly amazing to think about how a simple coin like the 1971 Jefferson nickel can hold such hidden value. Whether you're an experienced collector or just someone with an interest in coins, this is a perfect example of how the smallest details can make the biggest difference in the world of numismatics. And who knows, maybe the next time you go through your change, you'll stumble upon a rare gem that could change your life. Top 6, we've got a real treat for you as we dive into the world of U.S. currency, specifically focusing on the 2002 United States 5-cent coin, better known as the Jefferson nickel. You might be thinking, a nickel from 2002? What's so special about that? Well, you're in for a surprise. This seemingly ordinary coin could be worth much more than you think, and we're here to tell you exactly why. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's take a closer look at the fascinating value and worth of the 2002 nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a constant feature of U.S. currency since 1938, and over the years, it has undergone a few changes in design. But by 2002, the coin had largely remained the same, featuring the classic profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, with a depiction of his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. In fact, the design was so iconic that it remained in circulation for decades, with very few changes to its appearance. But here's the thing, even though the design stayed the same, there's more than meets the eye with the 2002 Jefferson nickel. It was a year when the U.S. Mint had some surprises up its sleeve. While millions of these nickels were produced and circulated, there were some very specific coins that slipped through the cracks with unique features that, to this day, are highly prized by collectors and worth a substantial amount of money. The most intriguing aspect of the 2002 nickel lies in the potential for minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process, and the result is a coin that looks different from the rest. These errors can make a coin much more valuable than its standard counterpart, and it's these errors that have turned the 2002 Jefferson nickel into a sought-after item in the world of numismatics. The most notable error with the 2002 nickel is what's known as the double die error. If you've been following our channel, you know that a double die error is one of the most coveted mistakes in the world of coin collecting. It happens when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned during the minting process, causing parts of the design to appear twice or in a doubled fashion. This is particularly noticeable on the date and inscriptions, such as the year 2002 and the word Liberty. If you happen to find a 2002 Jefferson nickel with this error, you've got yourself a rare coin. The double die creates a distinct and striking effect on the coin, where the numbers and letters appear blurred or doubled. For collectors, this makes the coin a true gem. Coins with this error are highly sought after because they're not something you come across every day. Minting errors like this one are relatively rare, so when they happen, they increase the value of the coin by a considerable amount. Now, you might be asking, how much could a 2002 Jefferson nickel with a double die error actually be worth? If you've got an error coin in good condition, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of history. A 2002 nickel with this particular minting flaw can sell for as much as $39,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $39,000 for a single nickel. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that was originally worth just 5 cents. Of course, not every 2002 Jefferson nickel will fetch such a hefty price. The value depends on several factors, including the condition of the coin, the extent of the minting error, and how well it has been preserved over the years. Coins in excellent condition, with sharp and clear details, are always more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated or worn down. The more pristine the coin, the more it could be worth to collectors. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare error coins? It's all about closely examining the date, 2002, and the word Liberty on the obverse side of the coin. If you see any doubling or overlapping of the text, that's a strong indicator that the coin could have the double die error. The doubling effect will be subtle, but with a keen eye, you'll be able to spot it. Even the smallest misalignment can make a big difference in terms of value. You might be wondering how these error coins make their way into circulation. The truth is, these coins are usually produced when something goes wrong at the mint during the production process. Most of the time, minting errors are caught before the coins are released, but some slip through and end up in the hands of collectors or the general public. That's why finding one of these error coins is such a rare occurrence. It's the result of a unique mistake in the minting process, which makes it all the more exciting when you come across one. If you're lucky enough to find a 2002 nickel with a double die error, you've got yourself a valuable coin, but even without an error, a well-preserved 2002 Jefferson nickel can still hold some worth. Coins from this era, especially those in good condition, are always in demand among collectors who focus on modern U.S. coins. While they may not reach the same astronomical prices as error coins, they still carry a certain appeal, especially if you're looking to build a comprehensive collection of U.S. coins from the 20th and 21st centuries. So, how can you go about finding one of these rare error coins? First, take a look through any loose change you have, especially if it's from rolls of nickels or coins that have been sitting around for a while. You never know what you might come across. It's also a good idea to check out local coin shops or online marketplaces where rare coins are often bought and sold. And of course, always keep an eye out for coins with unique characteristics or unusual features. You might just stumble upon a hidden treasure. To sum it up, the 2002 Jefferson Nickel is far from just another coin. With its potential for minting errors, especially the double die error, it's a coin that could hold far more value than you'd expect. So, the next time you come across a 2002 nickel, take a moment to examine it closely. It could be the key to unlocking a rare and valuable coin in your collection. Top 7, we have an exciting story to tell you about a coin that you might have overlooked in your change, a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. We're talking about the 1993 United States 5-cent coin, better known as the Jefferson Nickel. While most people view the Jefferson Nickel as just another piece of pocket change, you'd be amazed to learn that the 1993 version of this coin might just be hiding a valuable secret. So, let's dive into the history, the design, and the incredible value of the 1993 Jefferson Nickel. The Jefferson Nickel has been in circulation since 1938, and while its design has remained relatively consistent, each year brings new opportunities for collectors to discover hidden treasures. The 1993 Jefferson Nickel features the well-known design of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his iconic Virginia home, on the reverse. These elements have become staples of the U.S. coinage system, making the Jefferson Nickel instantly recognizable. But here's the twist: while millions of 1993 nickels were minted, not all of them are created equal. As is often the case in the world of coin collecting, there are certain years, like 1993, where some coins stand out due to subtle variations or rare errors that can significantly increase their value. And trust us, if you have one of these special coins, you could be holding on to something far more valuable than you might expect. So, what makes the 1993 Jefferson Nickel so special? The answer lies in a rare minting error that took place during production. Minting errors are not uncommon in the world of numismatics, but when they occur, they can dramatically affect the value of a coin. One of the most sought-after errors associated with the 1993 Jefferson nickel is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or damaged during the minting process, causing parts of the design, such as the date or lettering, to appear doubled or shifted. In the case of the 1993 nickel, the most noticeable effect of this error is often seen on the date, 1993, and the word, Liberty. When you look closely at a coin with this error, you'll notice that the numbers and letters are duplicated, creating a striking effect that's easy to spot if you know what you're looking for. The double die error is one of the most coveted mistakes in the world of coin collecting. Coins with this error are highly desirable because they're not something you come across every day. Most of the time, coins are struck properly, so when a double die error occurs, it results in a rare and unique piece of currency. And for collectors, that rarity is what makes the coin so valuable. If you happen to come across a 1993 Jefferson nickel with the double die error, you could be holding on to a truly special find. Now, let's talk about how much this coin could be worth. A 1993 Jefferson nickel with the double die error, especially if it's in excellent condition, can be worth a staggering $50,000. Yes, that's right, $50,000 for a single nickel. That might seem unbelievable, but it's a reality in the world of rare coins. The value of a coin with a minting error like this can skyrocket because collectors are always on the lookout for rare pieces that will add something unique to their collections. And when you're dealing with an error like the double die, the rarity and desirability increase significantly. But how do you know if your 1993 nickel is worth that kind of money? Well, the first thing to do is examine the coin closely. Look at the date, 1993, and the word, Liberty. If you see any doubling or overlap of the text, that's a strong indication that you found a coin with the double die error. You might also notice a blurry or shadowed effect around the numbers or letters. This is what makes the coin so distinct and valuable. It's the result of an error in the minting process that makes the design appear doubled or shifted. Of course, the condition of the coin also plays a huge role in its value. A 1993 Jefferson nickel with a double die error that has been well preserved and is in near perfect or uncirculated condition will be worth far more than a coin that has been worn down or damaged over time. Coins that show signs of heavy circulation, like scratches, discoloration, or wear on the details, will fetch a lower price, even if they have a minting error. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. If you're wondering how to find one of these rare 1993 Jefferson nickels, it's not as easy as just picking one up off the street. But it's not impossible either. Many collectors find valuable error coins while going through rolls of nickels or by inspecting old collections they've inherited or purchased. In some cases, you might even find one in your spare change if you're lucky. It's always a good idea to keep an eye on coin shops, auctions, or online marketplaces, where rare coins often surface for sale. Finding a 1993 Jefferson nickel with a double die error is like striking gold in the world of coin collecting. The thrill of discovering a rare coin is what keeps collectors searching through their change, rolls, and collections year after year. And the potential for finding a coin that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars is what makes this hobby so exciting. Now, let's not forget that even if you don't find a double die error, the 1993 Jefferson nickel can still hold some value if it's in good condition. Coins from the 1990s, especially those that have been well preserved, are always in demand among collectors who focus on modern U.S. coinage. While they may not command the same high prices as error coins, they're still considered valuable in their own right. In conclusion, the 1993 Jefferson nickel is far from just another common coin. Whether it's the double die error or its overall condition, this coin can be worth a small fortune if you happen to stumble upon the right one. So, the next time you go through your change or check out your coin collection, take a closer look at your 1993 nickels. You might just be holding onto a rare treasure. Top 8, we've got a treat for you. We're diving into the world of the 1990 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. This might seem like just another run-of-the-mill nickel, but believe it or not, this coin could be worth far more than you'd expect. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at what your 1990 nickels could be worth. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1938, and it's one of the most iconic coins in American history. On the obverse, you'll see a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. On the reverse, there's a depiction of his home, Monticello, which symbolizes the spirit of early American democracy. The design has largely remained the same for decades, and the 1990 version is no exception. But don't be fooled. While most people think of the 1990 Jefferson nickel as just another piece of pocket change, there's a hidden gem within this coin that could be worth an extraordinary amount of money. So, what makes the 1990 Jefferson nickel special in the world of coin collecting? The answer lies in the potential for minting errors. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin production process, and these errors can create unique coins that are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, it's these rare minting flaws that can turn a standard coin into a valuable treasure. One of the most notable errors found in the 1990 Jefferson nickel is the double die error. This happens when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned or damaged during production, causing parts of the design, such as the year and inscriptions, to appear doubled or offset. On a 1990 nickel, you might notice the year, 1990, or the word, Liberty, showing up in a blurry, doubled effect. This happens because the die was slightly out of alignment when it struck the coin, creating the duplicate image. Coins with a double die error are highly prized in the coin collecting world because they're rare and visually distinctive. While most coins are struck clearly and without flaws, those with a double die error stand out because of the subtle, or sometimes not so subtle, duplication of text or images. And when you come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel with this error, you've got something truly special. But just how valuable can a 1990 Jefferson nickel with a double die error be? Well, hold on to your seats, because the value of one of these rare coins can be as high as $44,000. Yes, you heard that right, $44,000 for a single nickel. That's a lot of money for a coin that was originally worth just 5 cents. This is what makes minting errors so fascinating in the world of coin collecting. One small mistake during the production process can turn an ordinary coin into a rare and valuable piece of currency. Of course, not every 1990 Jefferson nickel will be worth that much. The value of a coin depends on a few key factors, including the severity of the minting error, the condition of the coin, and how well it has been preserved over the years. A coin in near-perfect or uncirculated condition will always be worth more than one that has been heavily circulated and worn down over time. If you find a 1990 nickel with the double die error that is still in good shape, you could be looking at a valuable addition to your collection. So, how can you tell if your 1990 Jefferson nickel has this error? It's all about closely examining the date, 1990, and the word, Liberty. If you notice any doubling or overlapping of the text, that's a strong indicator that you found a double die error. The doubling effect can be subtle, but if you look carefully, you'll see the overlapping design. Sometimes the doubling can appear faint, so make sure you have good lighting and a magnifying glass to get a closer look. Minting errors like this one aren't extremely common, but they do occur from time to time. When a coin with a double die error is found, it's highly sought after by collectors who specialize in rare and unique coins. So, if you happen to come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel with this error, it could be your lucky day. But minting errors aren't the only thing that can make a 1990 nickel valuable. Coins from this era, especially those in good condition, are also desirable to collectors who focus on modern U.S. coinage. Even without a minting error, a 1990 Jefferson nickel that's well preserved can still fetch a decent price, particularly if it's part of a larger collection. So even if you don't have the double die error, don't forget that coins from this era are still highly collectible. Now, you might be wondering where you can find one of these rare 1990 Jefferson nickels with a double die error. Well, you're not likely to find them just lying around at your local store, but there are places where you can search for them. Many collectors find valuable coins while going through rolls of nickels, looking for rare pieces. You can also check out online marketplaces, coin shops, and auctions where rare coins are bought and sold. It's always a good idea to keep your eyes peeled when searching for rare coins, as sometimes they pop up when you least expect it. finding a 1990 Jefferson nickel with a double die error is like striking gold in the world of coin collecting. The excitement of discovering a rare coin is what makes this hobby so rewarding. And the fact that a single nickel could be worth thousands of dollars makes the search all the more thrilling. In conclusion, the 1990 Jefferson nickel is far from just another coin in your change jar. With the potential for a double die error, it's a coin that could be worth a small fortune if you're lucky enough to find one. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is one coin you'll want to keep your eye on. So, the next time you come across a 1990 nickel, take a moment to examine it carefully. You might just find that you're holding onto a rare and valuable piece of American history. Top 9, we have a coin that might seem like a typical piece of pocket change, but it's far from ordinary. We're talking about the 1992 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. While most people probably overlook these coins in their day-to-day lives, the 1992 Jefferson nickel actually has a fascinating story to tell, one that could make you reconsider what's sitting in your coin jar. The Jefferson nickel has been a mainstay in U.S. currency since its debut in 1938, and it features the iconic profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse. On the reverse, you'll find a depiction of Jefferson's estate, Monticello, which has been featured on the nickel for decades. The design is simple but meaningful, representing a significant part of American history. However, what makes the 1992 version of this coin stand out is not just its historical significance, it's the hidden value that a specific version of this coin might hold. Let's talk about what makes the 1992 Jefferson nickel so special in the world of numismatics. As with many coins, it's not just the design that can make a coin valuable, it's the production process. Minting errors are a key factor in determining a coin's value, and the 1992 Jefferson nickel has a particularly interesting story in this department. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has made a number of mistakes in its coin production process, and when those mistakes go unnoticed, they create unique and valuable coins. These errors can be anything from slight misalignments in the design to more obvious mistakes like double die errors. When these errors are found, they can turn an ordinary coin into something highly sought after by collectors. The 1992 Jefferson nickel is one such coin with errors that make it stand out in the collecting world. One of the most sought after errors found on the 1992 Jefferson nickel is the double die error. If you've been following coin collecting for a while, you're probably familiar with this term. A double die error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing parts of the design to appear more than once. This results in a doubled or blurry image on the coin. In the case of the 1992 Jefferson nickel, you'll notice the Liberty inscription and the date, 1992, being particularly affected. The doubling can make these parts of the design appear more than once, giving the coin a distinct look. These double die errors are not only fascinating to look at, but they also add a significant amount of value to the coin. Minting errors like this are relatively rare, and when they do occur, collectors get very excited. This is because error coins are often one of a kind, and their rarity makes them extremely valuable. A 1992 Jefferson nickel with a double die error is something that coin enthusiasts will jump at the chance to own, and the price can reflect that. So, just how much could a 1992 Jefferson nickel with a double die error be worth? If you're lucky enough to find one in good condition, you could be looking at a potential value of $42,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $42,000 for a single nickel. That's a significant amount of money for a coin that originally only had a value of 5 cents. And the best part? These coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered by collectors like you. Now, you might be wondering how you can tell if your 1992 Jefferson nickel has this error. It's all about carefully examining the coin for signs of doubling. Start by focusing on the date, 1992, and the word Liberty. If you see any extra lines or shadowed images where the numbers or letters should be, you may have found a double die error. The effect can be subtle, so it's important to use a magnifying glass or a loupe to get a closer look. When you spot the doubling, you'll know that you've come across something truly special. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value as well. A 1992 Jefferson nickel with a double die error that is in near perfect or uncirculated condition will always be worth more than one that has been heavily circulated. Coins that have been damaged or worn down over time tend to lose their value, especially when compared to those that have been carefully preserved. So, if you happen to find a 1992 nickel with this error, make sure to store it in a safe place to protect its value. Finding one of these rare error coins isn't easy, but it's certainly not impossible. Many collectors find valuable coins while going through rolls of nickels or other loose change. You can also check out local coin shops or online marketplaces where rare coins are often bought and sold. If you're determined, you might just stumble upon a 1992 Jefferson nickel with a double die error that could be worth thousands of dollars. Even if you don't find the double die error, it's still worth taking a closer look at your 1992 Jefferson Nickels. Coins from this era, especially those in good condition, can still be of value to collectors. While they may not fetch the same kind of price as a double die error coin, they are still an important part of American coinage, and they could still be worth more than their face value. In addition to the double die error, there are other variations of the 1992 Jefferson nickel that might hold some value. For example, some of these coins were produced with different levels of wear or slight variations in the design that can make them more attractive to collectors. These differences can be hard to spot, but for those who know what they're looking for, they can make a big difference in terms of value. In conclusion, the 1992 Jefferson nickel is far more than just a regular coin, it's a piece of history with the potential for significant value. The double die error, in particular, can turn this seemingly ordinary nickel into a rare and valuable find. So, the next time you come across a 1992 nickel in your change, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know, it could be worth a small fortune. Top 10 and last coin, we've got a real treat for you, a coin that you might not think twice about when you find it in your change, but it could actually be hiding a tremendous value. We're talking about the 1999 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson Nickel. While most people probably consider this just a regular nickel, there's actually more to this coin than meets the eye. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll discover how this 5-cent piece could be worth an astonishing amount of money. The Jefferson Nickel has been around since 1938, and it's become one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. On the front, you'll find a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and on the back, there's an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. This design has been in circulation for decades, making it a familiar face in the world of U.S. coins. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1999 Jefferson Nickel so special? Well, it's all about the little details, and in the world of numismatics, those details can mean the difference between a coin that's worth just a few cents and one that's worth thousands of dollars. The 1999 Jefferson Nickel was produced as part of the regular circulation, but just like many other coins, it can sometimes have unique qualities or defects that make it more valuable. The most important thing to know about the 1999 nickel is that, like many other coins, it has the potential to contain a rare minting error. These errors are often caused by slight problems during the coin's production process, and they can result in a coin with features that aren't found on most others. The presence of these errors can make a coin much more valuable to collectors. One such error that is particularly sought after in the 1999 Jefferson Nickel is the famous double die error. What exactly is a double die error? Simply put, it's a mistake that happens during the minting process when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned. As a result, certain parts of the design are struck more than once, causing the image to appear doubled. This doubling can often be seen on the date, letters, or numbers on the coin. In the case of the 1999 Jefferson Nickel, this error typically affects the word Liberty and the date 1999. If you're lucky enough to find a 1999 nickel with this error, you'll notice that parts of the design appear more than once, giving it a distinctive, almost blurry look. Minting errors like this one are incredibly exciting for coin collectors because they're rare and often one of a kind. The fact that something went wrong during the production process makes these coins highly sought after. And for those of you who are passionate about collecting, finding a 1999 Jefferson nickel with a double die error could be the jackpot you've been waiting for. So, how much could a 1999 Jefferson nickel with a double die error be worth? If you happen to have one of these rare coins in good condition, you could be looking at a value of $40,000. Yes, you read that right, $40,000 for a single 5-cent coin. That's a huge return on a nickel that originally had a face value of just 5 cents. It's mind-blowing how a small flaw in the minting process can turn a regular coin into a highly valuable piece of history. But before you start rushing to check your coin jar, let's take a moment to understand how you can identify this rare error. The key to spotting the double die error on the 1999 Jefferson nickel is closely examining the word Liberty and the year 1999. If you notice that these parts of the design appear blurry or duplicated, that's a strong indication that you found a coin with a double die error. The doubling is often subtle, so it's important to use a magnifying glass or loupe to get a closer look. The more you inspect these coins, the easier it becomes to spot the doubling effect. Now, it's important to keep in mind that the condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. A 1999 Jefferson nickel with a double die error in pristine, uncirculated condition will be worth far more than one that has been worn down through circulation. Coins that have scratches, discoloration, or damage will have a reduced value, even if they have the error. So, if you happen to find one of these rare coins, make sure to store it carefully to preserve its value. But what if you don't have a double die error on your 1999 Jefferson nickel? Don't worry. There's still value to be found in these coins. Coins from the 1990s, especially those in good condition, are often in demand among collectors. While they might not fetch the same high prices as error coins, a well-preserved 1999 Jefferson nickel can still be a valuable addition to your collection. Many collectors are specifically interested in acquiring nickels from this era, especially if they're in excellent shape and free from wear and tear. If you're thinking about searching for these rare coins, you may want to keep an eye on rolls of nickels, coin shops, or even online marketplaces where rare coins are sold. Some collectors get lucky by finding valuable coins hidden in a roll of change, so it's always worth checking your coins before you dismiss them as ordinary. And while finding a double die error may not be easy, it's definitely not impossible. With a little patience and a sharp eye, you could be the one who discovers a coin worth thousands of dollars. In conclusion, the 1999 Jefferson nickel is far more than just a regular 5-cent piece. If you happen to find one with a double die error, you could be holding onto a coin that is worth $40,000. Whether you're an experienced collector or just getting started, it's always worth taking the time to carefully examine your coins. Who knows, you might just discover a hidden gem in your change jar. Thank you for watching and joining us on this exciting journey into the world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coin collecting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss any future discoveries. Happy collecting, and remember, sometimes the smallest coins can hold the greatest treasures.